Good day, everyone. I am Angelica Hamol-awon, and my assigned topics are interpreting reliability coefficient, level of reliability coefficient, test validity, and types of validity. Interpreting reliability coefficient. Number 1. The group variability will affect the size of the reliability coefficient. The reliability coefficient in statistics, or often used in psychometrics or educational testing, measures the consistency or stability of a measurement tool, like a test or survey. A higher coefficient indicates that the tool produces more consistent results over time or across different items. Group variability. This refers to the diversity or spread of scores within the group of individuals being measured. Number 2, scoring reliability limits test score reliability. Scoring reliability refers to the consistency with which different scorers or raters evaluate the same test or assessment. If scoring is inconsistent, it introduces error into the measurement process, undermining the test's overall reliability. Number 3, test length affects test score reliability. Longer tests tend to be more reliable than shorter tests. More items provide a larger sample of the test taker's knowledge or skills, reducing the impact of any single item. Number 4, item difficulty affects test score reliability. Item difficulty refers to the proportion of test takers who answer the item correctly. Very easy items, or everyone gets them right, and very hard items, or no one gets the right, do not discriminate between individuals. They provide little information about the differences in knowledge or skills among the test takers. Level of reliability coefficient. Hindi din nakikita man niyo ang reliability coefficient ngan ang kanya interpretation. Like sa above 0.90, an interpretation niya is excellent reliability. 0.81 to 0.90, very good for a classroom test. 0.71 to 0.80, an interpretation is good for classroom test. There are probably few items need to be improved. To 0.61 to 0.70, somewhat low, the test needs to be supplemented by other measured or more tests 0 to determine grades. Sa 0.51 to 0.60, suggests need for revision of tests unless it is quite short or 10 or fewer items needs to be supplemented by other measured or more tests for grading. Sa 0.50 and below, an interpretation is questionable reliability. This test should not contribute heavily to the course grade and it needs revision. Since Ms. Libico already tackled about solving the reliability coefficient using Person-R formula, Brown formula, and Richard Coderson 21 formula, so now let's come to the Coder-Richardson 20 formula. So there are steps in solving the reliability coefficient using KR20. Number 1, solve the difficulty index of each item or P. Number 2, solve the value of Q in each item. Number 3, find the product of P and Q columns. Number 4, find the summation of PQ. Number 5, solve the variance of the scores. And the last step is solve the reliability coefficient using KR20 formula. The first thing to do is to solve the difficulty index in each item and the variance of the total scores. So P is equals to N over N, where an small letter n meaning a number of students get the correct answer in each item, while an capital letter N meaning a number of students who answered each item. So Q is equal to 1 minus P. For example, Mr. Mark Anthony administered a 20-item true or false test for his English 4 class. Below are the scores of 40 students. Find the reliability coefficient using the KR20 formula and interpret the computed value. Solve also the coefficient of determination. So now look at this table. As you can see, mayon sindi din sa table, mayon item number x, p, q, pq, and x squared. P of item 1. So, an P sa item number 1 is 0.625. Nakuha sa 25 divided by 40. Ang 25 mo ang number of students got the correct answer sa item number 1. Din-divide ang 25 sa 40. 40 students. So, Q of item 1. So, sa pagkuha sa Q is 1 minus sa P. So, ang P is 0.625. So, 1 minus 0.625 is equal to 0.375. So, ang PQ of item 1 is in multiply laan P tapos Q. So, ang P is 0.625 tapos ang Q is 0.375. So, 0.625 times 0.375 is equal to 0.234375. So, may on note, continue the same procedures up to the last item. So, next step is solve for the variance of the scores. So, ang formula is S squared is equals to N summation of the square of x minus summation of x squared. It divided by n is times n minus 1. So, an n is number of items. Summation of s square of x, summation of x. So, s squared is equal to n summation of the square of x minus summation of x squared over divided by n times n minus 1. So, s squared is equal to, and number of items is 20. So, we have 20 items. Igmo-multiply sa summation of the square of x. So, and 17,698 is dito may imod sa summation of the square of x. Igma-minus sa summation of x tas squared. So, ang 578 is summation of x. Yeah, dito ito makikita sa table. Divided by 20 or number of items 20. So, ita-times sa naging 19 kay 20 minus 1. So, next, 353,960. Nakuha siya sa 20 times 17,698 mao an 353,960 minus sa squared sa 578 which is 334,084 divided by 20 times 19 is 380. So next is 353,960 minus 334,084 is equal to 19,876 over copy and 380. So s squared is equal to 52.3053. Again, divide an 19,876 sa 380 mao an 52.3053 or pwede siya maging 31 round off an 5 sa 0 magiging 1 so magiging 52.31. So ang variance of the scores is 52.31. Let's come now to the last step. Solve the reliability coefficient using the KR20 formula. So, ang formula sa KR20 is KR20 is equal to K divided by K minus 1. Tapos sa sulod sa bracket, 1 minus summation of PQ over S squared or an variance of the scores. So, KR20 is equal to 20 over 20 minus 1. So, ang 20, mo iton an total san items. So, susulod sa bracket, 1 minus ang 3.38875 or summation of PQ, ato iton sa table, makikita iton sa ubos sa table, summation of PQ, divided by S squared or mo iton an variance of the scores, 52.31. So, next is KR20 is equal to 20 over 19. Naging 19 siya kay 20 minus 1 is 19. Tas ang susulod sa parenthesis, 1 minus 0.06478. Dida iton sa tikang sa 3.38875 gindivide sa 52.31. Mao an 0.06478. So next is KR20 is equal to ikapilaan 20 over 19. Tapos, sa sulod sa parenthesis, an 0.093522 tikang sa 1 minus 0.6478 mo ito na 0.093522. So, next is KR20 is equal to sa una na parenthesis an 1.05263 tikang iton sa 20 divided by 19 is equal to 1.05263. Tapos, in kapilaan, ato na 0.093522. So, next, KR20 is equal to 0.9844. Tikang iton sa, gin-multiply nato an 1.05263 sa 0.93522. Mao an 0.9844. Or pwede siya maging 0.98 lang. An interpretation, the reliability coefficient using the KR20 is 0.98, means that it has a very high reliability or excellent reliability. Coefficient of determination, and 0.98 igta times itself naging 0.9604 or 96.04%. Interpretation, 96.04% of the variance in the student's performance can be attributed to the test. Let's come now to the test validity or validity of a test. Validity in testing determines if a test accurately measures what it intends to measure, ensuring that decisions based on test scores are correct and appropriate. It's about the relevance and accuracy of the inferences drawn from the test results. Let's come now to the types of validity. First is the content validity. Content validity focuses on the relationship between the test content and the instructional objectives. It ensures that the test covers all relevant aspects of the subject matter. There are things to remember about validity. Letter A. The evidence of the content validity of a test is found in the table of specification. Letter B. This is the most important type of validity for a classroom teacher. And letter C. There is no coefficient for content validity. It is determined by experts judgmentally, not empirically. Letter 2. Criterion-related validity. This measures how well test scores correlate with other similar measures or standards or the criterion. It shows how accurately a test predicts performance in a related area. Concurrent validity. It is where the data is collected simultaneously for both the test and the criterion. It is used to assess a student's current status or for diagnostic screening. It is established using correlation coefficients. Example, person. Letter B. Predictive validity. It determines how well a test predicts a student's future performance. It is important for tests designed to assess future outcomes. Also, predictive validity is very important in psychological testing. Like if the psychologists want to predict responses, behaviors, outcomes, performances, and others, these scores will be used in the assessment process. Regression analysis can be used to predict the criterion of a single predictor or multiple predictors. Number 3 is the construct validity. It assesses whether a test measures a specific theoretical construct or trait, such as intelligences, anxiety, or motivation. Letter A. Convergent validity. It has high correlation with other tests measuring the same construct. Letter B. Divergent validity. It has low correlation with tests measuring different constructs. And it has high validity is indicated by a low correlation coefficient. Letter C. Factor analysis. Complex statistical method to assess the underlying structure of a test. In summary, validity ensures that a test is not only measuring what it's supposed to measure, but also that the results can be used to make accurate and meaningful decisions about students' learning and ability. So this is the activity. This is 10 points. Miss Jessie administered a 10-item true or false test to her science class. Below are the scores of 30 students. Find the reliability coefficient using the KR20 formula and interpret the computed value. Solve also the coefficient of determination. This is the steps. Solve the difficulty index of item 1 to 5 or the P. Solve the value of Q in item 1 to 5. Find the product of P and Q columns. Find the summation of P, Q. Solve the variance of the scores and solve the reliability coefficient using KR20 formula. That will be all. Thank you and God bless.